What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. We are in Central Park South, but we are going to be headed to the east or the west side of Manhattan today, checking out the sunset. We'll be skateboarding around for about an hour, not too long tonight, but it should be a really good sunset. Hey, what's up, Solo 401? Hey, what's up, Reels? We're gonna be going to the west side, so probably Riverside Park. Check out the sunset tonight. But I think we are just gonna catch the tail end of it. Hope everybody's having a good start to the week. Hey, what's up, Josh D? There's a ton of fireflies out tonight too in the city. It was a hot one today too. It was like 90 degrees, maybe more. Hey, what's up, Sierra friend? Hopefully we can get to Riverside. Main sunset. I think it's going on right now, but we'll check it out. Real says, yeah, the sunset's already looking nice. So we'll see if we can get there in time. If not, I think we'll still have a pretty decent view at least. This is Columbus Circle, so 59th Street. We'll head to the West Side Highway, or Riverside as they call it. This is 59th Street, Columbus Circle. Hey, what's up, Soho guy? We're gonna be going to the, well, hopefully going to Riverside tonight to check out the sunset. This is the Trump International Hotel and Tower. And I hope everybody in the chat is having a good start to the week. We're on West 61st Street, and you're looking straight down to Columbus Circle. So this whole area right here is Columbus Circle. Hey, NYC Cherry Groove's in the house. What's up, Cherry Groove? Cherry Groove, we're gonna go to the west side, Riverside, hopefully see the sunset tonight. really beautiful. Hey, Roy J. Good evening, my friend. Roy, welcome to the stream. We're going to be headed to watch the sunset on the east side of Manhattan. I mean, excuse me, the west side of Manhattan. So right now we're by Fordham University, Fordham Law School. The main campus is in the Bronx, but the graduate school is right here on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. I'm gonna see if I could adjust my screen brightness. Hey Tom, you are the only streamer that my wife likes that I watch. Oh, thank you. Well, tell your wife I said thank you so much. That is extremely nice. And I appreciate all the kind words. That's really nice. So thank you, Cherry Groove. Thank you, Cherry Groove's wife. Cool. So up here is Lincoln Center. Extremely, extremely beautiful area. I would skateboard around, but I really want to see the sunset. I think we missed all of it. Unfortunately, I got caught up with work. But I'll try to get you guys to see as much as possible. And then maybe next time or tomorrow I could try to get out a little bit early. Josh D. But NYC Cherry Groove, thank you for that. I appreciate the very kind comments. And excuse the audio, it's really windy tonight, so. Hey, James 807. No problem, James. Always happy to have you pop in, my friend. But James 807, hope you have a great day at work, wherever you are. Hope you have a good start to the week. Wow, this is a really nice view too. All the way down here, you can see all the way down to the Hudson Yards. Hey, and we have Razzle Dazzle here. Razzle Dazzle is our pal from California. So welcome from Cali. So my college where I used to go to school is right here. And it's extremely windy tonight. James 801 says, or 807 says another 12-hour shift. Wow. Well, good luck with that, man. Hope you have a productive shift. And don't work too hard. This is where we're going. We're going down here, see a nice sunset. Hey, Gnarly Thomas is here. Gnarly Thomas says, what's up, everybody? So Gnarly Thomas is now a New Yorker officially. Just moved from, I don't know where, but I believe he lives in Brooklyn, New York now. So Gnarly Thomas, enjoy your time in Brooklyn. I think you're really gonna like it a lot. Brooklyn's a nice area. I think you're moving to Crown Heights, right? don't want to get going too fast down here. But the sunset is supposed to be beautiful. The west side is so steep that we could get flying like 90 miles an hour, which I don't want to do. We're going to be on the west side of Manhattan tonight. It's very windy, so I apologize for the audio. But it's beautiful, beautiful here. Hey, Lena Sandoval's here. What's up, Lena? Leanne D says, what's up, Tom? What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining. Andrew's here. He says, hi, Tom. Moving furniture. Have a good skate. Andrew, good luck with all the furniture. Gnarly Thomas says, Bushwick is so fun. Yeah, you're going to have a lot of fun there. Bushwick has a lot of new hipster spots. So I think you're going to enjoy it. So, Gnarly Thomas, have a good one, my friend. And James807, good luck on your shift. Hopefully you don't work too hard. We'll see you later. Yeah, NYC Cherry Groove, we may hit Riverside Boulevard tonight. It smells amazing around this fountain for some reason. It's sort of like that chlorine smell. So it's really, really nice, really beautiful. This is very windy. Extreme wind. But it's probably going to be some of the best sunsets in Manhattan tonight. So check out all of these brand new condominiums they built here. Yeah, Leanne, you said you love the pool smell. I do too. Hey, and we have Lady Orleans here. What's up, Lady Orleans? We're here on Manhattan's west side. We're going to check out the sunset. And we're also checking out some of the brand new apartment buildings they just built here. The architecture is amazing here. Lady Orleans, hope you had a good weekend and a good start to your week. Had a good Monday. Yeah, Sunshine New York is so happy to see the sunset. I just have to cross over, which may take me a little bit, so we may miss some of it, but I think we'll get the majority of it. But it's a beautiful, beautiful sunset. I tried to get off of work a little bit earlier so we could catch the majority of it, but we'll just have to make do with what we have. And these are beautiful apartment complexes overlooking the Hudson River. Lena Sandoval says, how are you today? I'm doing really well. I hope you're well too, Lena. Yeah, Reels, this place is really beautiful. They have some brand new restaurants here. I've never been to any of these restaurants. All right, so now we are at Riverside Park South, right here. Lady Orleans says you've never been to this side in New York City. This is one of my favorite parts. It's called Riverside Park South. Soho Guy says most of those buildings are built by Trump. So most of the buildings are not built by Trump, but Trump just licenses his name on these buildings. But if we skateboard into the park a little bit, you'll get to see a more holistic view, just really of the good architecture of these buildings. Wow. So it looks like we didn't miss the sunset after all. It looks beautiful here. Yeah, Real says I want to live across the pond from New York City. Yeah, so Lady Orleans, you could see they have a nice area where all the dogs can walk, hang out. I can only imagine the views from these apartment buildings here. Must be really, really amazing. Hey, JD Fisher, welcome to the chat. NYC Cherry Groove says Trump had management and he threw his name on them. Yep. Oh, they threw the name out. I did hear about that, but this used to be all Trump buildings, but he would just lease his name. But the views from these buildings must be really, really beautiful. And NYC Cherry Groove says you used to live here. How were the views living here? It must have been amazing. You must have photos to die for, Cherry Groove. But everybody, I appreciate all of the new subscribers. I think we're up to 350 now, which is wild. So thank you everybody so much. I appreciate it. Leanne says, I have to check this area out when I move back. Yeah, this is a great area. It's very quiet, very family-friendly neighborhood, very nice. NYC Cherry Groove says you took it for granted. So Cherry Groove, I don't know if you remember. Obviously you probably do. I remember when all of these buildings were built, but all of the landscaping was under construction. So this was pretty much just, it didn't look as good as this, but now it looks beautiful. The landscaping they did an A+ job on. Lady Orleans, hope you're having a good Monday. Everybody in the chat. Hey, Gerald's here. Always love to have Gerald Lee. Gerald, so we're on Riverside Park South. We're gonna head all the way down here by the water, and we're just gonna look at the sunset. It's gonna be a pretty relaxed stream, because I really like this neighborhood, very family-friendly neighborhood. That's just my personality. I don't like all the craziness of Times Square. There was another shooting in Times Square, so I'm probably gonna stay as far away from Times Square as possible. But look at how amazing this looks, everybody. NYC Cherry Groove says you have footage of the landscaping prior. Yeah, it looked, in my opinion, it didn't look good. It was just all concrete blocks. Sunshine New York says, I am going to just watch on the TVs. It's so amazing. I will be in the quiet corner. No problem. Gerald Lee says, thanks, Tom. Good to see you streaming tonight. Good to see you on the stream. So we're just going to walk down these stairs because the stairs are so steep. But if anybody's looking for a really good sunset in the city, this is probably the best place to do it. That and Battery Park are probably the two best places, in my opinion, to look at a New York City sunset. Hey, Robert Batista's here. What's up, Robert? We're just checking out the beautiful sunset here on Riverside Park South. And thank you everybody for subscribing to the channel. We're growing pretty fast. So I appreciate everybody that's joining and contributes to the chat. Hey, Wendy. Wendy's here. Our pal Wendy. Wendy, I hope you had a good Monday. Fantastic start to the week. JD Fisher, you as well, my friend. Hope you're well. Wow, look at that shot. That's unreal. Ooh, NYC Cherry Groove. Thank you for that heads up. NYC Cherry Groove says, Tom, I did not like the people who live there. Yeah, maybe it's just because... So NYC Cherry Groove, what was the main reason why you didn't like the people that lived here? Were they like snobby people, like stuck up? Wow. I don't know how this is coming out on the stream, but in person it looks beautiful here. Everybody's outdoor dining. Really nice. It is a bit windy here. Wendy says summer heat. I think it was about 95 degrees in New York City today. One of my favorite things about this view are all of these wooden posts from the old docks that are sticking up still. It looks beautiful. Andrew says it looks good. Yeah, Andrew, this is one of my favorite spots in the city. And we can see all the helicopters taking off too. Wendy says it's 92 degrees in Maine. Wow. Lady Orleans says I love the West Side. I like the West Side too. So Lady Orleans, during the pandemic in the winter, I would go to Hoboken a lot. And the views from Hoboken were really, really amazing. You've obviously probably been to Hoboken, right, Lady Orleans? NYC Cherry Groove says, Tom, also many apartments were vacant. My building initial was turned into illegal Airbnbs. That's the worst, NYC Cherry Groove. That is the worst. 50 degrees today, Leanne D says. Leanne, I'm assuming you live in New York City. But it is a beautiful view, beautiful sunset here on Manhattan's West Side. I hope everybody's enjoying the stream. We're not going to do too much skateboarding distance today. It's a Monday. I just kind of wanted to show everybody the sunset. Just kind of hang out with everybody in the chat. Lady Orleans says, yes, Hoboken. I have friends that live there. Lady Orleans, that is probably the best view you're going to get. Besides that and Greenpoint, I think the views from Hoboken, New Jersey, and the views from Greenpoint, Brooklyn, are probably some of the best views anywhere in the tri-state area. Leanne D says Long Island, but close enough. Hey, I'm from Long Island. So happy to have a fellow Long Islander in here. The sky looks like orange and purple. It looks really amazing. Wendy says very nice. So Cherry Group, just to piggyback off of what you were saying, there was a lot of illegal Airbnbs near the new apartments near 42nd Street too. NYC Cherry Group says, hey Tom, I have tons of stories, too many to type in the chat. I can imagine. So I don't know if you remember, but just to the very, very west side of Times Square, so if you're talking about near the tunnel entrance, so like 42nd Street and 10th, they were building all of those beautiful high-rise apartment complexes, and all of the tenants were upset because everybody was turning them into short-term rentals through Airbnb. So here, this big tower, that's the Central Park Tower you can see right there. Cherry Group, go live on IG. I want to hear your stories. I want to hear them too. Yeah, Wendy, the wind is crazy here, so I apologize for not having a mic, but it is extremely, extremely windy here tonight. So here we can see all the way uptown. You can see the George Washington Bridge. Lady Orleans says, after yesterday, I still want to keep dancing. Yeah, yesterday was wild for those who were joining the stream yesterday. We were in Washington Square Park checking out all the stuff for Pride, and it was a wild one, to say the least. It was definitely a wild one, to say the least. Leandy says, what part of Long Island are you from? You don't have to answer if that's too personal. I'm from Massapequa, so South Shore, Long Island. Yeah, JD Fisher says yesterday was crazy. Yesterday was crazy. But this is the George Washington Bridge all the way down here. So really, really nice. Hey, Michelle McGraw is joining the stream. Always love to have Michelle McGraw here. Michelle says, I got you on the TV watching, but I'm also working. I could appreciate that, Michelle. So hopefully you have a good day at work. And hopefully you enjoy the sunset as well. NYC Cherry Group says, we had a holiday parties and the Trump management hired prostitutes to serve food. No way. That is wild. Hey, Barry's here. What's up, Barry? Says, hello, Tom. Good evening. Good evening, Barry. We are Riverside Park South today. We're just checking out the sunset. And it's a beautiful, beautiful sunset here. And there's a single cloud in the sky. There's literally one cloud in the entire sky. Nice land. Yeah, Massapequa was a nice town, but I definitely like the city better. So if you get a chance, definitely move to the Manhattan or any of the boroughs. Yes, Lady Orleans, please roll the skateboard over to the like button. Wow, Reels, you have it on a 72-inch TV. That must look crazy. Gnarly Thomas. So everybody that's joining, Gnarly Thomas just moved to New York. He made the leap and he moved to Brooklyn, so I'm sure he's going to have a great time. Especially now. This is the perfect time to move to Brooklyn. So Brooklyn's going to be wild this summer, Gnarly Thomas. You're going to have a great time. NYC Cherry Group says, one person on my board allowed her child to have a party with one of those carnival air trampolines. You tell me if the city approves that. I don't know. JD Fisher. So the Nightbot really only works with the weather and a couple of just interesting things that I programmed for anybody that wants to learn about finance and things like that. So if somebody wants to, play around with the Nightbot, if you type !NYU, it'll give you the link to a professor at New York University called Swat Damadaran. And he is arguably one of the most prestigious professors at NY Stern Business School, and he teaches you all about securities analysis, valuation of business. So you could either go to NYU and spend 70 grand a semester, or you could just subscribe to his YouTube channel where he teaches you all of his stuff for free. And he actually has many of his lectures up on his YouTube channel that anybody can go view for free. So if anybody types ! It'll drop the link. Andrew's here, so such a great view. Love those yellow tops of the buildings. Hey, the Swan's here. Yes, Andrew. So I programmed the Swan. So if anybody types ! Swan, it'll say Empire State Building equals signpost equals know where you are. And that is the Swan. Leandy says, I never liked living on Long Island, to be honest, too boring. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. It's not that I don't like Long Island. It's just that I'd much rather be in Manhattan. But Long Island is beautiful to go out and see the beaches. If anybody wants to go to Jones Beach, Tobay Beach, really, really beautiful over there. But I think when you're young, you really have to be in Manhattan. There's only one time in your life where you can be young and in the city, so you might as well do it. Lena Sandoval is here. We always love having Lena Sandoval in the chat. She says, wow, what a beautiful view. Barry's here, says hello, Andrew, Cherry Groove, Michelle, Nightbot. Yeah, so that is our Swan command that I programmed into the Nightbot. So I figure every time we skateboard past the Empire State Building, everybody could just drop an ! Swan in the chat, and Nightbot will read off the Swan's famous sayings. Barry says, my mom went to Long Island for vacation. She ended up working. Lance says, I agree with you, being born and raised in the city gives you more character. I agree. Like, you gotta be in the city. This is where all the action is. This is where all the connections are. This is where all the great food is. Great people. You get to meet people from all over the world in New York. Hey, and Cosmo is here. What's up, Cosmo? Cosmo, we are at Riverside Park South. We're checking out the sunset tonight and all the buildings, so hopefully you're enjoying it. And everybody, on the stream last night, I think I skateboarded past Cosmo when I was headed down. Cosmo Scary says, just saw an opera concert at Central Park. Ooh, Cosmo. So I think I saw them setting that up. Was that near the, I forget the name, but it's sort of near that main big fountain, right? And then you walk up the stairs and you're right there in Central Park, and they were setting up big chairs all outside, right, Cosmo? Is that where it was? I was walking around today and it was, yeah, the band shell, yeah. So I saw them setting that up, and I think, what is it, live jazz all summer? NYC Cherry Group says the center of the screen was my building. So Cherry Group, these two, right, with the sort of gold and yellow tops. Wow, Cherry Group, that's a beautiful building. Lady Orleans says Metropolitan Opera House. That's another thing I'm looking forward to this summer, is live music out in New York City again. short one. So this one? What time will it get dark, Tom, says Barry. So the sunset, I was looking on Google, the sunset is at 8:30, but it should stay like dusk out, maybe until 9 o'clock, I'm assuming, so probably about 9 o'clock. But this is all New Jersey, so we're looking at Lady Orleans territory right here. I know Lady Orleans says I missed live concerts. Sierra Friend, hey, Sierra Friend's here. What's up, Sierra? This is so pretty. Isn't it beautiful? It stinks that I couldn't get off of work earlier. I wanted to show you guys the entire sunset when the sun is just setting. It's beautiful. And right up here, if you look straight ahead, this is actually the George Washington Bridge. So we can zoom in. So this is how many New Yorkers commute from New Jersey into Manhattan every day, through the George Washington Bridge. Alright, so we'll take another look at NYC Cherry Groove's building. Alright, let's see if we can get it. Oh, Josh D says it's already 9 p.m. here. Wow. NYC Cherry Groove's, my building was the only one that had a roof garden. Wow. I can only imagine what that looked like, Cherry Groove. Michelle McGraw says it's 9 o'clock now, probably another 10 minutes or so until it's dark, yeah. But this is my favorite time because it's light out, but it's like dusk. It's sort of like dusk. Yeah, Reels, Riverside Park South is an absolute must visit, man. Absolutely must visit. It's so beautiful here. Hey, and Fernando's here. Fernando, so this is Fernando's view, if anybody's ever seen his live streams from his apartment or from work. It's overlooking New Jersey. So welcome, Fernando. Beautiful, beautiful view tonight. It's just really, really windy here. Hey, Michael DeCosta's here. What's up, Michael? Lady Orleans says my fave moment is this here between dark. Yes, same. Between sunset and darkness, I agree. Yes, Andrew, we're just a little bit closer to the view than what Fernando is. But Fernando, are you working tonight? So these, the two teeny tops right there is the Time Warner Center at 59th Street Center. This big one here is Central Park Tower. And the gold top right there is 220 Central Park South. Barry says our curfew now started 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. Wow. Okay, Fernando, that's good. Fernando says he's home now. That's good. That's cool. Leandy's building kind of looks like Chicago. And this is where we were the other night. Right here is the Hudson Yards in New York City. Yeah, Barry says the audio sounds like an aircraft. I have to get a mic. It's so windy here. We're gonna head down and we will see even better views of the Empire State Building tonight. The place I'm gonna take you guys tonight. Hey, Kenneth's here. What's up, Kenneth? Kenneth says, what's up with the two yellow top buildings? So maybe NYC Cherry Groove can answer that since he lived here. So our pal NYC Cherry Groove used to live right here. But Kenneth, good to see you on the stream, my friend. Thanks for being here. NYC Cherry Group says it was built over a garbage dump or a landfill. Very interesting. Hey, Michael DaCosta, how are you, my friend? Welcome to the stream. Henry Hudson Greenway says super friends. Barry says, it's okay, Tom, that's just nature. Yeah, I think I'm gonna look into getting a mic, just so the audio is maybe a little bit clearer for you guys. JD Fisher's here. Hey, what's up, JD? Hope you had a good day. And Kenneth says, same to you, brother. Kenneth, you know, we always appreciate you being here. Always a good time talking to you in the chat, my friend. So I wanted to make this more of a relaxing stream. Usually we crush around the city on a skateboard and do like 20 miles a day. But I think it's sort of nice to catch the sunset and just kind of hang out. Show you guys the views in New York City. NYC Cherry Group says the two lights, one is called the Rushmore. Andrew Calhoun says, what pier are you on so I can look up the buildings? So again, I'll have to defer to NYC Cherry Groove. NYC Cherry Groove, do you know what pier this is with everybody eating outside? I'm not sure the exact name, but I do know it's called Riverside Park South. So if anybody wants to visit New York, please check out Riverside Park South. Beautiful place. Pier 1. Okay. What would I do without NYC Cherry Groove here to back me up? So this is called Pier 1. So Andrew, please check out Pier 1. Hey, Roy J, he's got it. So Roy J did exclamation point NYU. So if anybody's interested in learning out like securities analysis, please check out Professor Damodaran at NYU, Aswat Damodaran. He's the Dean of Valuation. So if anybody's trying to improve their financial models or things like that, his channel's really going to help you out. So he's a professor at NYU Stern Business School, and instead of spending the 70 grand to go to NYU Stern, you could just subscribe to Professor Damodaran's YouTube channel, and he posts his lectures for free for anybody to look at. So please check that out. It's a very good resource. Roy J says, thanks, Nightbot. So Roy J, if you do exclamation point Jack, it'll drop a link of an extremely good interview with Jack Bogle. And Jack Bogle is the founder and former CEO of the Vanguard Group. Very old, but he essentially revolutionized Wall Street and helped Main Street investors by giving them options to dollar cost average index funds that track the S&P 500. Gerald Lee says, thanks for giving us a chance of peace, Tom. This is very nice. Yeah, Gerald, I think I needed this too. It's beautiful to sort of just kind of, get away from all the main stuff of the city, like Times Square and 34th Street. We always go to Macy's, which is another hectic area. So I think it's cool to see all this stuff over here. Yes, and that is the Swan command. So if anybody does exclamation point Swan, it'll say Empire State Building on the signpost. Sunshine New York says, what's his name again? So Sunshine, if you look at the Nightbot, it dropped the link. But his name is Professor Aswat Damodaran, and he is a professor at NYU Stern. And he teaches securities analysis and corporate finance at Stern NYU Business School. Yes, so Sunshine New York says, Tom, the name of the professor. His name is Aswat Damodaran. He's an unbelievably knowledgeable person. He's from India, and he teaches at NYU Stern Business School. And he has all free content on YouTube where he gives his outlook on the financial markets. He teaches anybody how to do securities analysis and financial modeling, all for free. So if anybody wants to check that out, I know, man, rom-com movie right now. Very scenic. Barry says, is fishing allowed there? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think you need a fishing license here in New York. To do anything, you need a license. NYC Cherry Group says, I knew the architect who did the interior designs for these buildings. He was a great guy. Wow. That's awesome, Cherry Groove. Did he only do like apartment developments? Yeah, so Sunshine, New York, I think Roy J sent the command. So if anybody does !NYU, it'll drop a link to the professor. And those are the people I like to learn from, who are professors at the best universities in the world. And now with everything being on the internet, he actually has his own YouTube page where he posts many of his lectures for free. So you could feel free to sit in on a lecture at NYU, and it'll post a link to Professor DeMonaran's YouTube page. Yeah, it's a very, very good resource, Sunshine, New York. And he's an unbelievably bright guy. Unbelievably bright guy. Hey, Michael DeCosta, I hope you're well, my friend. Good to see you here. Hey, Kenneth. Kenneth says, you going to be out on the 4th of July? Just wondering, because I'll be there that. One of my friends invited me to his annual 4th of July party. Unfortunately, we didn't have it last year due to the virus, so it's going to be a big blowout this year, so I'm going to head out to Long Island. Barry says, thanks, I just subscribed. Yeah, he's that's the real deal. So if anybody's interested in really learning about deep fundamental analysis of businesses, DeMonaran is the guy. Also, I programmed another thing into the bot. So if anybody puts !Druck, so D-R-U-C-K, it'll drop a link of Stanley Druckenmiller, which is one of the most successful portfolio managers to ever live. And Stanley Druckenmiller gives about an hour-long interview with one of the top business schools, and you could watch that for free. And Stanley Druckenmiller, he learned and was investing with George Soros back in the day. So not to be political or anything, but George Soros is one of the best investors of all time. I don't really want to get into conspiracy theories, but Stanley Druckenmiller is, if you look at his track record, so if you do !Druck, it'll bring you to a phenomenal hour-long interview where he lays out fundamental analysis of the outlook on the financial markets. So everybody feel free to enjoy that too if you like. Hey, Joe Hernandez is here. What's up, Joe? Joe, it is windy, but that's actually pretty good because today it was about 95 degrees. It felt like 100 degrees today, but it's good that it's windy. It's dying down. Real says somebody propose right now to use this view up. I know, man. It's a beautiful, beautiful view. And once again, thank you for all the new subscribers. We have a lot of new people here. So, welcome everybody to the channel. But Joe, nice to have you here. Yeah, so Nightbot dropped the 2021 Student Investment Fund annual meeting by Stanley Druckenmiller. So that is probably one of the most highly recommended videos of right now. I would definitely do that. Kenneth says, cool, good for you, man. Yep. Yeah, I think it's going to be good to hang out with people again. Tom, are you a Gemini? I'm not too sure, Lady Orleans. I don't know anything about those, what is it called? Those signs? I'm not sure. I was born in May. For whatever that means. NYC Cherry Groups is the corner building on the left on 72nd Street had the best details. My brother has his artwork in one of these buildings. Wow. Yeah, Michael DeCosta was really hot today. And it's windy now, so at least it's cooling things down a little bit. Cherry Groove says he did common areas and lobbies and even sold apartments. He worked for himself to death, smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day. Well, that's not good, Cherry Groove. Yes, Lady Orleans, I was born in the end of May. Yeah, Cosmo says, Tom, I say the same thing when people ask me for astrology. Yes. I just don't know anything about it. But some people are really into it. I just don't really know anything about it. It's so windy here, it's crazy. So we're gonna head out. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the views of the city. So speaking of birthdays, this is another interesting piece of market research here. So when I moved to New York City, well, in Manhattan, I call Manhattan the city. For whatever reason, I don't consider Brooklyn the city. But when I moved to the city, I had to get renter's insurance. So I got renter's insurance through this company called Lemonade. And for my birthday, this company sent me an email with almost every single employee in their Manhattan office holding up a poster of me saying, "Happy birthday, we appreciate you being a customer." Now, if that's not like a crazy customer service thing, I don't know what is. I think that company is going to disrupt all insurance industries. Because if you think about it, you know, anybody who thinks of Allstate, Progressive, any of these insurance companies, it's like laborious and terrible, but I think now everything is being like gamified and the user interfaces are so inviting and welcoming. And that's exactly what Lemonade is. It's all, if you go to the website, everything is purple and pink, and it may not even be a better product, but I think more people are going to use it just because it's more inviting and welcoming. So I think that's why the company, so I'm putting that company on my watch list. I just thought it was really interesting. They literally sent me an email with my with everybody standing around a big whiteboard saying, "Happy birthday, Tom." I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? That's crazy. And I pay like $100 a year for renter's insurance. I don't know, weird. Hey, DYL, Gons is here. What's up, Gons? We just finished checking out a beautiful view here in Manhattan. Checking out the sunset overlooking New Jersey. Hey, Julie's here. What's up, Julie? Hey, insurance practice exams is hi, Wall Street. Love having insurance practice exams here. What's up, pal? Welcome to the stream. I know, Leanne D, that's creepy, isn't it? But in a sense, I was like, wow, that's crazy. Roy J says, thanks for the tip, Tom, no problem. Yeah, Julie, happy Monday, absolutely. Yes, in NYC Cherry Group, this is where the plane crashed on the Hudson. So I think the movie was called Miracle on the Hudson, is that right? So Julie, welcome to the stream, happy Monday. Insurance practice exams, welcome to the stream and happy Monday. Gons, always a pleasure to have you on the stream. Thank you so much for joining. What's the tallest building in New York City? I think it's the World Trade Center, I believe. Oh, the Sully plane. Yeah, Captain Sully. So we'll continue to head down. The wind is really, really crazy here. So my eyes are getting a little bit watery. Apologize to all the headphone users. Gone says you used to ride your bike here. This is a beautiful place to ride a bike. Really, really beautiful bike path. Cosmos is finally home in the AC. There we go. So I think the World Trade Center is the tallest building in the city because of the spire. But I think there's other buildings that are actually taller than the World Trade Center without the spire. Wow, it's so beautiful here. So this is like a little walkway over the water. Lady Orleans says, I witnessed that plane on the Hudson while it was being rescued. I worked in the Paramount building on 50th and Broadway. Wow. Lady Orleans, that must have been really crazy to watch. Gerald Lee says, I think it was Sully, along with Tom Hanks. Yes, I think you're right. It's a beautiful night, but it is a bit windy. Dylan Gahn says, has this greenway have more traffic since new Little Island Park? A little bit more traffic, but I believe the Little Island Park is a little bit further down, so not too much traffic here. Lady Orleans says, kickflip the like button. But yeah, anybody visiting New York, you have to visit this area. It's beautiful here. Barry says, seated at my PC here, I can tell how beautiful New York City is. So much beautiful things, especially at night. Yeah, I mean, it's so peaceful here. It's nice to get out of the craziness, the hustle and bustle of the city, to go somewhere a little bit more moderate. So I agree, it's a beautiful area. Take a break here on the water. Hey, Catherine's here. Hey, what's up, Catherine? Catherine says, looks nice there. Where is it? I just came on now. Oh, Catherine, you missed a beautiful sunset. We were hanging out on Riverside Park South here in Manhattan, and it was beautiful, beautiful. Super Friends in the City says, Skater Tom, can you teach me how to skate? For sure, 100%. Absolutely. So Fernando, let's meet up in Bryant Park. We'll play some ping pong, because I genuinely do want to learn how to play ping pong. NYC Cherry Goose is at the sanitation department building with the red lights. I think it's an extension of one of the sanitation department buildings, but the main sanitation department building is near 34th Street, all the way on the West End, near, what's it called? Hudson Yards. A little bit up, maybe. We'll skateboard past it, we'll see. But I believe you're right, Cherry Groove. But all the way down here is the George Washington Bridge. Hey, Photos from Around New York is here. What's up, Photos from Around New York? We were just skateboarding from Central Park South to Riverside Park. So really beautiful. So I'm glad you're joining. For anybody who's joining, this is Riverside Park, but it's a little bit windy here. Yeah, Catherine says, wow, looks great. Catherine, thank you for joining. I hope you had a great Monday, had a good start to your week. Yeah, reels, skateboard for reels. Ooh, nice NYC Cherry Groove. That's awesome. Alright, so we'll head out. So Andrew says a customer just gave me some free beer. Wow. What did he hand deliver it to your home, Andrew? Or are you out during like a client meeting or something? So check out these apartments. These are brand new apartments and they're beautiful. Yeah, Julie, you can't see the Statue of Liberty from here, but you can further down. So we'll definitely check out the Statue of Liberty. And we'll be able to see it later on in the stream. Assuming my phone doesn't die. So for anybody that wants to visit, this is Riverside Park south of Manhattan, and it's open from 6 a.m. to 1 a.m. Yeah, so this is the sanitation, New York City Sanitation Department. So Cherry Groove is right. Andrew said, no, hand delivered to my home. She works in a beer factory just down the road. Wow. That's awesome, Andrew. Good for you. I wish my customers were nice. Well, my customers are nice. A lot of people out on bikes tonight. So this is a really, really unique apartment or condominium here. Hey, Mark's here. What's up, Mark's? It's nice neon signs. Tom, you ever play soccer in Chelsea Piers? I used to play soccer in Chelsea Piers all the time. Loved it over there. This building is like a triangle. It's crazy. It's really nice. And so are these apartment buildings. Really beautiful. They're just learning how to skateboard. That's awesome. Doing good. It's never too late to learn how to skate, guys and girls. It says no motorized bikes or e-scooters. Really? Everybody rides those e-scooters here. There's one right here. That's a little crazy. I don't agree with that. I think you should be allowed to e-scooter here. So this is the West Side Highway. And this will take you all the way downtown to the World Trade Center. To the World Trade Center in 35 minutes. Hey, sunshine after rain, what's going on? We're on the West Side Highway skateboarding to the Intrepid. Roy J says he just felt an earthquake here in San Francisco. Wow, Roy, stay safe. This is Pier 88 in Manhattan. Sunshine, how was your day? Hope you had a good one. Good start to your week, good Monday. Wind must be 30 miles an hour. It's crazy. All right, so we are at the Intrepid, and this is a major warship here, a museum. Hey, Jonathan C's here. What's up, Jonathan? Yes, indeed. We are here at the Intrepid. Sunshine after rain says, good, Tom. Thank you. How was yours? My day was great. Very busy. I wanted to get out here a little bit earlier. But sunshine after rain, we did see a beautiful sunset at Riverside Park South. And now we're skateboarding past the Intrepid, which is a massive ship, as Josh D said. Yeah, Reels, e-scooters are dope. Photos from around New York says the apartment building, or the apartments behind you were built, let's see, were built over a railway area like Hudson Yards. It's also like a new neighborhood. Nice. NYC Cherry Group says, I believe that building is supposed to look like a sailboat. Oh yeah, all the way up there by John Jay College. That one's really nice. Roy, hope you're well with the earthquake, man. Don't play around with that. Check out the reflection of the lights off the water. Wow. Photos from around New York. You're so right. That's beautiful. So another place where you could see amazing reflections of light on the water is in Central Park. Right near the reservoir, you see the whole entire Midtown Manhattan skyline, and it looks beautiful just like this. But thank you once again for everybody, for all the new viewers, for all the new subscribers. I appreciate it. I hope you all are enjoying the skateboarding videos and tours and conversations around New York City. The chat is pretty much fair game to talk about whatever we want. So finance, stocks, food, coffee. Lady Orleans and I talk about coffee a lot in this chat. So we'll head all the way up here because we're going to be able to see the Empire State Building. Yeah, NYC, we got a dog park over here. Gerald Lee. So this is Pier 84. So I'll take you guys all the way down here. This is going to be able to see the World Trade Center. It's going to look beautiful. The World Trade Center as well as the Empire State Building. Yards. Gerald Lee says, Tom, have you heard of a company called Covenants? I don't think so. What do they do, Gerald Lee? Catherine says, what do you think about cryptocurrency for investments? I think it just depends on your risk tolerance. I think the majority of the alternative currencies, if you want to call them, or the majority of them are scams. But I do see a big value proposition in Bitcoin for emerging market countries, which we've talked about before on the stream. So I think the main value proposition with Bitcoin is in the form of remittance payments. So if you think about emerging market countries or even below emerging market like El Salvador or something like that, a lot of people that immigrate to the United States or Canada or China from El Salvador or all these other countries, but they send money back to their family. And one of the best ways to do that is through a particular cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, because of the very low transaction fees. If you were to do that at a Western Union or something like that, the fees can be upwards of 20%. So I think in terms of that, it's a big value proposition for countries that have unstable governments. But if you look at an emerged country or an established country like the United States or Canada, where governments aren't as corrupt as some of the emerging market countries, I think you could probably use it maybe as like a store of value in addition to your gold or your other commodities. But the main value proposition that I've always seen in Bitcoin is remittance payments from emerging market countries. Roy J says, thanks, Tom, as well. Probably not a big one. Yeah, hopefully it's not a big earthquake. That's crazy. Barry says, how much money per day do you need to live in New York City? Or what is the average salary? Well, I think the average salary in New York City is very skewed. So I'm not sure what the average salary in New York City, but you know, you could live a very comfortable life in some of the boroughs, depending on, you know, if you just have a small apartment or you live with a spouse or a girlfriend or a boyfriend or something like that. You could probably get, you know, a one-bedroom apartment for maybe $2,000. And if each partner makes, let's say, $50,000 a year, I think you could probably do it and live comfortably. Yeah, NYC Cherry Goose says it's about $35,000 the average salary. I think that's And again, New York City is really, really skewed because you also have some of the poorest districts in the world, like the Bronx and things like that. So if we zoom in here, this is actually the World Trade Center. So here we have it right here. It's all lit up for the Pride colors right there. The only other thing that I would be concerned about that I've seen over the years in the cryptocurrency markets is that it's very, very, very highly leveraged. So they're highly leveraged markets. So that means like traders and speculators are sometimes trading with like 100x leverage, right? So that can create like extreme exacerbations in the price moves. And that is the H&M building. Leanne says, do you split rent among roommates, Tom? I don't. The only reason why I don't, The only reason why I don't split the rent is because the rents have gone down extremely drastically in Manhattan since the coronavirus. So I was able to get a pretty good deal. But before that, I would definitely split the rent. Hey JD, thank you for joining. Appreciate it. This is the Hudson Yards. And this is 42nd Street, Times Square. So if you go directly down here, you'll see Times Square. Hey, Gerald Lee says Covenants is headquartered in Providence, let me see. In Princeton, New Jersey. They do clinical services for pharmaceutical companies. They're all over the world. They perform clinical trials for pharma and research. So it's interesting, JD, Gerald Lee, the only sector that I really don't get involved with is pharmaceuticals because it's an extremely volatile and risky sector. Because essentially every single big or startup biotech company is dependent upon if their drugs get FDA approval. So the stock prices usually trade extremely volatile off of some news that the company is going to get FDA approval for the drug. But if they don't get FDA approval for the drug, the stock will pretty much go to zero because that's their only stream of revenue is just that drug that they're looking to get FDA approval on. So a lot of these biotech companies are what's called pre-revenue companies. So essentially they'll have investors that will give them money to spend on R&D or research and development into specific drugs or something like that. But the only thing is, if they're doing clinical trials and it's in stage 1, stage 2, or stage 3 clinical trial, all the news will be so good and everybody will be like, wow, you gotta buy the stock. It's probably going to pass stage 3 clinical trial and it's going to go to market. And next thing you know, the FDA says, nope, they're pulling the plug. and then the company goes to zero. So that's why I don't get involved in biotech. I don't think I have a good enough background to be able to decipher which drugs will go to market or not. So that's the reason why. Hey, Mr. Nobody's here. What's up, Mr. Nobody? Yeah, Joe Hernandez says rents will probably start to go up this year. Leanne D says, oh, you took advantage of cheap rent, lucky you. Yeah, I think I got really lucky during the pandemic. A lot of people were really, really scared here in New York. So, as the old saying goes, people buy when the blood is in the streets, even if the blood is your own. Wow, it's so crazy windy here. Oh my God. So let's go back into the city. So windy. So we just finished going to the Intrepid at Pier 83. Yeah, Leanne, the wind it's nuts. It is nuts here. Mr. Nobody, appreciate you joining the stream. Yeah, the cost of living in the city varies depending on where you are. The rents are going up. Yeah, they're gonna move quickly too, I agree. I definitely agree with that. LabCorp bought Covenants a few years ago for around 6.7 billion. Just was wondering if you heard of them. I've heard of LabCorp. They do a lot of like the testing, right? So I think I use LabCorp a lot for like drug testing. So like an employer is doing a drug test, you go to LabCorp. But no, I haven't heard of that. Surprisingly, no. But thank you for sharing that. That's interesting. Very interesting. Maybe I'll do some research into that. Oh my gosh, the wind is nuts. So maybe the wind will die down now that we're back into the city. We're on 42nd Street. Gerald Lee says, thanks for giving me your comments on it. Yeah, no problem, Gerald. Joe Hernandez says a lot of pharmaceutical stocks are on projections based on future drugs. Yes, that is true. NYC Cherry Group says Queens gives you the best bang for your buck, and in my opinion, the best borough. Wow, NYC Cherry Group, that is a big take, bold take. Yeah, Gerald, thank you for bringing it up. I always like to do research into different companies, so I appreciate you sharing that, man. Thank you so much. So now we are at the New York City Transit. So this is where a lot of people get onto the tunnels. The wind is so strong it's blowing me off the skateboard. So this is one of the best views in the city here of the Empire State Building. So if anybody wants to drop a exclamation point swan in the chat, we'll be able to get our swan sang. Michelle McGraw says, I'm taking a walk outside and it feels like it's a sauna. It's crazy out here. If it wasn't windy, I'd probably melt away. Barry says, many of my friends from here left the country 20 plus years ago and settled in Queens. So much West Indians there. Yeah, there's a big West Indian community there. And there's also a big West Indian community in the Bronx as well. As neighborhoods of Brooklyn too. You're live, yeah. In neighborhoods of Brooklyn too. So a big West Indian community. I think somebody on the stream before was asking me if I knew any good West Indian restaurants here, which I don't, but I've been to a couple, but I forget their names. I went to a couple West Indian restaurants when I would work in East New York, Brooklyn, which was really, really nice. Oh, you went to college near Jamaica. So I think it's Medgar Evers College is near Jamaica, right? And I think Medgar Evers College is a CUNY school in the City University in New York. So this is the entrance to the tunnel, for those who are not familiar. You get right on here, the Lincoln Tunnel, and then you can go to New Jersey. Hey, Orland Edwards is here. What's up, Orland? Says hello, Tom, and everybody in the chat. Tom, do you go to Jackson Heights ever? Sometimes I go to Jackson Heights. Queens is a little bit far from here. Not too bad. The only time I go to Queens is when I go to Flushing, Queens, because it is Chinatown. So it's the biggest Chinatown in New York is in Flushing. It's actually not in Manhattan. Yeah, there we go, Michelle McGraw. So Empire State Building equals signpost equals know where you are. I thought that was Brooklyn, could be wrong. I went to St. John's University. Yeah, St. John's University is in Queens. I forget what town in Queens it's in, but it's definitely in Queens. I forget what neighborhood it's in though. Maybe NYC Cherry Group would know. Yeah, so Flushing has the best spots for boba, which is like a bubble tea. And also, in addition to that, it has amazing soup places for anybody that's like Chinese soup. I believe it's called Malatang soup. And right in front of us is I was gonna say Time Warner building. No, the New York Times building. Jason D, thank you for subscribing to the channel. Appreciate it. All the new subscribers, thank you guys. If you enjoy this content, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. I appreciate it. NYC Cherry Group says, Tom, Jackson Heights has 50 plus different cuisines. I could imagine. So Cherry Group, when I lived in Greenpoint, I would take the 7 train to Vernon Jackson, and then I would walk across the bridge. And I remember in Long Island City, they had amazing, amazing food places. There was a really good Italian spot as well. So Long Island, I mean, if I was gonna go to Queens, my 2 favorite places in Queens are Long Island City, Queens, and Flushing. By far. Not really a big fan anywhere else. Alright, so this is a place where not many people go, but this is the on-ramp for the bus terminals. So you could take the Jersey bus, go to New Jersey. I took this bus one time, I didn't like it. So this is the Port Authority bus terminal. St. John's borders Jamaica and Fresh Meadows, Queens. Tom, I missed the question. I forget the question. I forget what I asked. Well, this is the Port Authority bus terminal, as well as the New York Times building. Very industrious area. Toward 9th Avenue, the Port Authority bus terminal. So this is where you could take the bus from New Jersey all the way into Manhattan at 42nd Street, Times Square. Hey, Daniel G, what's up? Daniel is our pal from Argentina. I know, NYC. You know what? NYC, if you can recommend a couple good spots, I'll go to Queens. You're right, I gotta try more diversity of spots. I think Queens has the best Thai restaurants in my honest opinion. So Leanne, the best Thai restaurant, you go to Sen on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. And there's also a very good Thai restaurant that just opened in Brooklyn. So Sen is on West 81st Street and Amsterdam Avenue. And it's a great restaurant. And the owner is very nice. Very nice, sweet lady that owns the restaurant. So please, everybody, go check that out. I don't think I've ever been down this block in my life. I've always walked past it, but I've never been down the block. So we'll check it out. It looks gross. I mean, it looks all right. There's just a lot of garbage. It's pretty skatable though. The ground is pretty smooth. Alright, so we are under the Port Authority bus terminal. And we made it to the other side in one. So thank you everybody for joining. If you like the content, skateboarding around the city, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe. Looks like Boogie Bop Rat Alley. I know, Gerald Lee. So NYC Cherry Groove says, Tom, name the cuisine and I'll make a recommendation. I like that, NYC. So Daniel G from Argentina, he's our pal. He always joins the stream from Buenos Aires. He says, where are we tonight? Well, we are at the Port Authority bus terminal. However, we were watching the sunset on Riverside Park South, and it was beautiful. So anybody who catches the replay of the stream, it's gonna look amazing. We saw a really, really nice sunset. But now we are at Port Authority bus terminal here on 42nd Street in Times Square. Sierra friend, thank you so much for joining. Have a good night. Have a great Tuesday. Hey, In America 3. What's up, In America 3? Long time no see. Always good to have you here. So NYC Cherry Groove. Let's do, what's a good Chinese place? Well, no, I know they're good Chinese places. Give me a good Italian spot to go to. I'll go to a good Italian restaurant in Queens if you give me the recommendation. Leanne says, I'll check it out. I'm unhealthily obsessed with pad thai. Same here. So Leanne, you gotta go to Sen. Here, let me type it in the chat. Because Leanne, you gotta go, I'm telling you. All right, so you gotta go to Sen and you gotta get the Pad Ki Mao Pao Mook, which is drunken noodles with the squid. It's so hot, it's gonna rip your face off, but you're gonna love it. NYC Cherry Goose says, Tom, any food you ever wanted to try? Yeah, let's just give me some Italian options. I love Italian food. I am half Italian. Hey, LG's here. What's up, LG? Yeah, so Leanne, just to warn you, it's extremely spicy. So I'm not sure what you think about spicy food, but this is like rip your face off spicy. What is the art on the wall? So we're at the Port Authority bus terminal. So I don't really know what it is. It looks like cookies. But I'm not a big fan of the Port Authority bus terminal, so I'm about to bounce in a minute. Tom, go to Parkside. All right, let me screenshot that. I'll check it out. So Sunshine After Rain says, I love spicy food. If you love spicy food, you have to go to Flushing and you have to try their malatang soup, which is a Chinese soup that is unbelievable. I think after Italian food, Asian cuisine is my favorite. Korean food and Thai food are probably my top favorites, to be honest. All right, so here we are at the New York Times building, right here. So this is the famous newspaper. So NYC Cherry Goose is Parkside. Hey, Lady Justice is here. Lady Justice says, have you ever tried Brazilian food? I think I have once, but it was just like a Brazilian steakhouse. But so I don't really think it was that authentic of Brazilian food. But if anybody has a good place to recommend, let me know. But I have a ton of good spots, and I'm in the process of programming the Nightbot to recommend my favorite restaurants in the city. So we'll be able to determine restaurant recommendations based on the bot. One of my favorite things in the city to do when it's extremely hot out is skateboard past all the retail stores, because you get a blast of air conditioning and it feels really good. So this is Aladdin the musical right here, and a lot of the Broadway shows are right here near Times Square. But there was actually a big shooting here. Well, I shouldn't say big, I think just one guy got shot. But still, one is too many. Joe Hernandez says, the best food is in my kitchen. In America 3 says, you always go to the best places to see in the city skyline. I just saw the sunset and it was amazing. Yeah, In America 3. If you visit New York or if you're here, I forget where you're from, but you got to go to Riverside Park South. It's so beautiful. You're gonna love it. Tom, Parkside is a famous mafia Italian restaurant, much like in the Bronx. Well, it's right up my alley then. I love that. Lan says, I tried the tom yum soup one time and it was making me sweat because it was that spicy. So Leanne, this is gonna be just like that, maybe even a little bit more spicy. LG says, good to see you, Tom. I mean, hear you. Yeah, LG, good to see you too, my friend. Barry says, I love spicy food. I cook and make homemade real hot pepper sauce. We got the Trinidad Maruga scorpion pepper. Oh my God, that sounds like crazy. Hey, so Ed Milson Toledo is here. Says this place reminds me of Times Square. This is Times Square. We just got off at the Port Authority bus terminal, so I appreciate you joining the stream. Irevis is here. Irevis is one of our favorite people to have on the stream. Says, hello Tom, have you tried Vietnamese food? I don't think I have. What would be an example of Vietnamese food, Irevis? Hey, and Lupe's here. Everybody's here tonight. Lupe says, I like spicy pickles. Interesting. NYC Cherry Groove says, Tom, I looked it up and it has 4.6 out of 5. I went there 4 times and always amazing. Wow. NYC Cherry Groove, I'm gonna have to go there. Sunshine New York says, churras, I don't know how to pronounce that, is your favorite Brazilian place. Vietnamese food is good. Yeah, says LG. Pho, oh, pho, yeah, so I have been. I've actually been to a Vietnamese place in NYU, in 8th Street in NYU. It's really, really good. So that's the only time I've had Vietnamese food, but there's really good spots in NYU for Vietnamese food. So we're just gonna get out of Times Square because I don't really like being here. So straight up here is 42nd Street, Times Square. And this is where they had the shooting the other night. Lupe says, hi skate bro and skaters, appreciate that. Lupe is our pal. She's been on the stream since pretty much day one. From Oklahoma. She's from Oklahoma. Lupe, I hope you had a good Monday. How was everything? The weekend went by way too fast, but this week is gonna go by even faster because it's the 4th of July weekend here in the United States. So a lot of my clients are like, look, Tom, you gotta get all of your work done by Thursday. Because they're like, I'm out of the office Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So a lot of people in corporate America here just take off, you know, for an extended weekend for the 4th of July. Hugh O'Kane Electrical Company was one of my customers. Didn't really have the best experience working for them. I mean, working with them, but whatever. NYC Cherry Goose says, Tom, but you must go to Gennaro's on the Upper West Side for Italian. That is like a real Italian restaurant. Parkside is red sauce, American Italian. Okay. I'm gonna check. So NYC Cherry Groove. Have you been to Becco? Becco is a really good Italian spot on Restaurant Row. I know I was telling you about it. We were talking about it on the other streams, but I'm really, really excited to get your feedback on that one because Becco is a really, really good restaurant. So that's the next thing I'll program the Nightbot to do, is I'll have my top 10 list of restaurants. So if anybody wants to come to New York or take a visit, definitely try the restaurants on the recommended restaurant list. So maybe on the next stream I'll have that up. But my phone is on 20% battery, so it may die. So if it goes out like it did last night, I hope everybody has a great rest of the week. Good Monday night. Hope you all had a good start to the week, a positive start to the week. NYC Cherry Goose says, my wife said yes, and then you will like Gennaro's. Oh, okay. Yeah, Becco's is owned by Lydia. And every time I go there, I like to get the unlimited pasta. So they always make 3 house pastas every night. And they come around to your table and you could try each pasta as much as you want. It's a great place. It's a really, really good time. Extremely, extremely affordable too. Lady Orleans says, Tom also. Yeah, we're on West 38th Street. So Lady Orleans says, Tom, also tell Nightbot to show coffee recommendations. Absolutely. Lady Orleans and I always talk about good coffee shops on the stream. Joe Hernandez says, love your streams, Tom. Joe Hernandez, I love having you here, man. We always have good conversations, interesting topics, and I appreciate everybody being here. See, the streams wouldn't be great without the viewers. The viewers are what make it great. You guys talk about very, very cool stuff, interesting things to do around the city. Gerald Lee says, we don't like it when your battery goes out. Which pasta do you like, Tom? So Daniel, that's a good question. So there's one pasta in particular that I really like that Becco has sometimes, and it's called the squid ink ravioli. I know it sounds weird, but it's delicious. So Daniel, if you ever come from Argentina with your family to Becco, get the unlimited pasta and ask them if they have the squid ink ravioli, because it's unreal. You're gonna love it. So Daniel, since you're from Argentina, is there like a specific Argentinian cuisine? I'm not familiar with it, and I'd love to try it if you want to share with the group. Like, what is like a traditional Argentinian dish that maybe somebody in the US wouldn't know about? Yeah, so Daniel, if you Google squid ink pasta, Google squid ink pasta, very good. So one of my best friends went to the Culinary Institute of America, and he got a job as a chef at Del Posto, which is another phenomenal Italian restaurant here in the city. So this is for the Swan, the Empire State Building. Beautiful view tonight. And they also have the Macy's decorated for the fireworks for the 4th of July. Daniel G says steak. Okay. So Daniel, I've had, a lot of meats. Daniel says a lot of meats. So every time I go visit Miami, I don't go to like South Beach, I go to North Miami, and they have a lot of Cuban restaurants. And they have this dish that I really like. I think it's called, I don't know Spanish, so excuse me if I butcher it. It's like Panamia steak. And it's really amazing. I really like Cuban food too. Every time I go down to Miami, I always have to go to Cuban restaurants. NYC Cherry Groove says, Tom, you are Italian. Give me another cuisine that you never tried. I'm trying to think. So like Argentinian food, I don't think I've tried. Hey, Photos from Around New York is here, and they said they changed the wall facade to red, white, and blue. Yeah, they did. It looks great. In America 3 says, say it again. I think it's Panamia steak. Is that how you say it? But that's what I get it when I go to the Cuban restaurants in Miami. So in Southern Florida, there's a very, very big Cuban population. So every time I'm in Miami, I always go to a Cuban place. Tom, I can recommend amazing Greek recommendations. Yes, NYC Cherry Groove. My grandmother's obsessed with Greek food. So if you give me a good Greek restaurant recommendation, I would love that. Big fan of Greek food, NYC Cherry Groove. So thank you. Yeah, give me some of those recommendations. That'd be great. What about food from the Philippines? Fernando's from the Philippines. I don't think I've ever had food from the Philippines. In America 3 says empanadas are from Argentina. Nice. Greek food equals Astoria, Queens, says photos from around New York. By the way, if anybody wants to check out some beautiful photos and photography from around New York City, Photos from Around New York has, I believe it's an Instagram page called Photos from Around New York, where he posts amazing photos, so check it out. Daniel G says, Tom, Google Argentinian restaurants in New York City. There are a couple where you can ask for a steak. Sorry, the comments. A steak. I can't tell you if they are good or not, but you can have an idea. Got it. Okay, yeah, Daniel, I'll definitely check some out. Maybe I'll go this weekend. Well, actually, this weekend's gonna be the 4th of July, so maybe next weekend I'll go. But I'm definitely gonna check it out, Daniel. Marlo Morales says, yes, Cuban food, rice, and black beans with steak and onions. Yeah, Marlo Morales, that's what I get. So if anybody goes to Miami, Florida, there's this place that's called Normandy Shores. And all around Normandy Shores, there's phenomenal Cuban restaurants. I would suggest before you go there, you at least brush up a little bit on the Spanish, because even though it is obviously the United States, pretty much everybody speaks Spanish there. So I always like to have like a little pocket travel guide of Spanish. So if you go to Normandy Shores, Sunny Isles, Florida, amazing, amazing Cuban food. That's actually one of my biggest regrets, is not being fluent in Spanish. It's one of my biggest regrets in life. Hey, Jalen R, I don't think we've seen you on the stream, so welcome to the stream. Says, how's New York? Is it still empty? No, it's actually coming back. There's a lot of people. Last night was the most packed I've ever seen it in a long time. Last night's stream, we went to Washington Square Park, and it was an absolute volcano of people. So really, really crazy. So I think a lot of people are coming back. Yeah, Joe Hernandez, Little Cuba. Barry says, I have a full recipe book from my country. It's in PDF. Anyone wants it, dishes in Trinidad and Tobago, connect with me on Facebook Messenger and I'll send it. Barry, I would be interested in that. Send me an email. I have my email in the link in the description. Definitely send me an email with that, man. Thank you so much. NYC Cherry Goose says, Tom, this place, Tavern, I don't know how to say the last part of that, has 2 locations, one in Astoria and one in Bayside, Queens. I went to the Bayside 3 times, amazing. All right, let me take a screenshot of that. Lady Orleans says, empanadas are part of Latin cuisine, Cuban, Puerto Rico, Argentina, and Guatemala. Thank you, Lady Orleans, for that. Arroz, yeah, arroz means rice, right? Like arroz con pollo means chicken and rice, is that right? Athens Restaurant on 30th Avenue, says Joe Hernandez. This is a postcard, makes a perfect scene, says Gerald Lee. Hey, Margarita's here. Margarita says, what about Puerto Rican food? Yeah, Margarita, I think I've been... No, actually, I don't think I've had Puerto Rican food. I've been to a Dominican restaurant in East New York and Ocean Hill, Brooklyn. Very good Dominican food there. Roy J. Hey, what's up, Roy? Welcome to the stream. I think you were on before. But says, Tom, I recommended the Duolingo app to learn Spanish for free. Yeah, Roy, I have that app. I have that app to learn Korean, and it's very good. I'm doing that right now for Korean. Duolingo is very good. So great recommendation. Josh D says Spanish is a great language to learn. Yeah, I think if you're born in the United States, it should be a requirement to learn Spanish. Like, we learn Spanish in high school, but nobody takes it seriously. They should start teaching Spanish when we're very, very young. Yeah, that's one of my biggest regrets. I wish I was fluent in another language. They should teach Spanish in the United States around kindergarten, so everybody knows 2 languages. All right, and we can see the World Trade Center down here. Roy J says, I'm learning Polish and brushing up on Spanish and French. Nice, Roy. So Roy, are you doing all of that just on the Duolingo app, I'm assuming? Lady Orleans says, yes, that's right about a rose is rice. Okay. Daniel G, our pal from Argentina, says, I have a friend in the United States, American, that learned Spanish because they made friends in college with Latin American guys. So the newer, late, so yeah, so it's never late to learn another language. I agree. Yeah, so I played soccer here in New York City for a college here, and all of my teammates spoke Spanish. So I learned it a little bit. I could probably understand a little bit, but I'm no way fluent in it at all. In America 3 says, I made a roast con pollo today. Hope it was good. Riva says, you have to roll your R's. Ah, got it. I don't know how to roll my R's though, that sucks. When you say arroz or something, I don't know. NYC Cherry Group says, I have an amazing Colombian and Cuban restaurant near me. NYC Cherry Group, type it in the chat. Every time somebody puts a restaurant in the chat, I take a screenshot. Lena Sandoval says, good night, Tom, and good night, all. Lena, pleasure having you here. Lena Sandoval joins almost every one of our streams, so always a pleasure speaking with her. LG says, Filipino food is delicious too. I don't think I've ever had Filipino food. I wouldn't even know what is a traditional Filipino dish? Does anyone know? And my phone is on 3% battery, so if my battery dies, I appreciate everybody joining. Thank you to everybody who's new and subscribing to the channel. I appreciate it. And I hope everybody has a good rest of their week. And potentially I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. So speaking of coffee, this shop over here, it's a very good brand of coffee, and it's called Irving Farm Coffee Roasters. I've never been to the one inside here, but I have been to the location on the Upper West Side, and it looks like this one's actually closed now. So this is called Irving Farm Coffee Roasters in New York City, and this is very, very good coffee. And if you want to go to Irving Farm in New York City, the best location is on 79th Street, right when you get off the train, on the one train, I believe, 79th Street. Josh D says his YouTube channel is Xiaomi NYC. Hey, what's up, Uncle Scrooge? What's going on? Adobo says Irivas. Lady Orleans says, I love a good risotto with truffles. Yes. On 8th and 50th? Okay. Oh, Filipino dishes, chicken adobo. Interesting. Interesting. I've probably definitely never had that. Chicken adobo. It sounds familiar though. It sounds really, really familiar. Huh. Wow, these streets in New York are empty tonight. Uncle Scrooge, welcome to the chat, my friend. Always good to have you here. Taco Bell, take a screenshot of that. I'll take 2 screenshots of that, Cosmo. Roy J says Duolingo and drops for vocabulary, and also listening to foreign music and audiobooks. Wow, yeah, that is. I listen to a lot of Korean music. Josh D says, Tom, have you ever watched the guy's YouTube who goes into Chinatown and speaks perfect Cantonese? Yes, I've seen that, Josh. That is crazy. I mean, to speak it that fluently, you must have to have some sort of natural talent, because that is crazy. I've seen that. Tom, try the arepa. Lady, it's a great eats and cheap. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, we just, over the last 15-20 minutes, we put so many restaurant names out there. that I don't think it's possible for everybody in the chat to go to these restaurants. But I'm gonna make it a point to try to visit every one of them. So that's what I'll do tonight, everybody. I'll program the night bot to drop my favorite restaurants in the chat. But thank you for everybody who participated and gave us some good restaurant advice. Everybody's just chilling on office chairs in the middle of the street. It's like they went up to the office buildings, took out all the office chairs, and everybody's just straight chilling on the streets. This is the Smith, which I think is alright, but it's an overrated restaurant. Andrew, here's your limos, man. Hey, Zap Allen's here. What's up, Zap Allen? Everyone is tired from the gay pride parade, I could imagine, Josh. Zap Allen is here. Awesome. I binge watched his entire channel one night, Michelle. Yeah, Daniel G, it's crazy windy tonight. Extremely windy. Cosmos says you're approaching in another restaurant I recommend on 23rd Somersault. You should check out Fung Bros. Okay. This is supposed to be a really, really good restaurant. This one right here. Very popular. I always see people outside here. I've been seeing that homeless guy on that corner for years. He literally just lives there. He never leaves. I've been seeing him since 2013. So now we are in the Flatiron District. Daniel G is talking about food. What is the best burger restaurant in New York City? A lot of people will say JG Mellon. I don't agree. I actually don't even like JG Mellon that much. I think you're just better off with Five Guys. With Five Guys, you can really get anywhere. But if anybody else that's from New York or has visited New York has gone to a good burger place, drop it in the chat for our Argentinian friend, Daniel G. Oh, I do have a good... I take that back. I got a good burger place. Apologize. Okay. Where I'm from, and it's called All American. So if anybody is out on Long Island in Nassau County, in Massapequa, you gotta try All American. It's an original American burger stand, and it's so cheap, so affordable. You're gonna love it. So go to All American in Long Island. Zap Balance says, Tom, did you say you would be doing a live stream for the 4th of July at the fireworks? I won't, because I'm gonna be at a 4th of July party on Long Island, because I missed it last year due to the pandemic. And my friend, he throws an unbelievable, crazy 4th of July party on Long Island, so I will be out east. Wow, it's so windy. And here's another look at the Empire. Wow, and we have 65 people watching. I think that's almost a record. So thank you everybody for enjoying the stream, for hanging out with us. I appreciate it, thank you. Lupe says, battery, please don't die. Hey, Josh D says, Tom, how do you budget your monthly expenses as a young guy in New York City? So Josh, great question. I think I'll probably make a video about that, but I have an Excel spreadsheet where I keep my monthly budget. So I treat myself just like a business. So, you know, I have my income, I have my expenses. So I pretty much just make like a balance sheet for myself. So the money I spend on rent, the money I spend on food, and I keep it in an Excel spreadsheet. And now that I'm a small business owner, I try to maximize tax write-offs as much as possible. Hey, Andrew's still here. What's up, Andrew? Andrew says I'm going to every one of those restaurants. I know, oh my God. Andrew, could you imagine? Uncle Scrooge is here. Welcome, Uncle Scrooge. Always good to have you. Yeah, Leanne D sounds like a wild party considering it's Long Island. Yeah, this is gonna be unreal. And I was so bummed out I couldn't go last year because of the pandemic. So they didn't have it, but this year they're gonna have it. And it's gonna be great. NYC Cherry Goose is the best burger place, is in my neighborhood. In Manhattan, Jackson Hole is a must. Interesting. Tom, your favorite barbecue in New York City? My favorite barbecue in New York City is gonna be a Korean barbecue spot. And it's called Baekjeong. We were there yesterday. It's on 32nd Street. It's in Koreatown. That's my favorite barbecue spot, Korean barbecue. But my favorite American barbecue spot is in Harlem on 125th Street. It's called Dinosaur Barbecue. That place is a really good time. I like that place. That place is really fun. NYC Cherry Grove. Have you been to Dinosaur Barbecue? That's a really fun place. Taking the train or riding the bike up to Harlem on 125th, hanging out, going to Dinosaur Barbecue. It's awesome. Yeah, Andrew, we saw the limousine, so I'm glad you're still on. So yeah, NYC Cherry Grove, American barbecue, by far, is Dinosaur Barbecue on 125th. Great place. They also have a location in Syracuse, New York, in upstate New York. Really, really good place. Dinosaur BBQ. Daniel G says also Shake Shack. Yeah, so Daniel, there's a Shake Shack right here. Hey, Techno Pink is here. What's up, Techno Pink? Always a pleasure having you on the stream. Hope everybody that's joining had a great Monday. Yeah, Daniel G, All-American. I grew up right around the corner. So I'm not sure if you heard of the Baldwins, but Alec Baldwin, Billy Baldwin, they're all from Massapequa, and they went to high school with my parents at Burner High School. But now Burner High School is actually a middle school. And his dad was a football coach at Massapequa High School. But yeah, the Baldwin family is from Massapequa. And my parents went to high school with them. Cosmo said you've eaten All-American before, it tasted like McDonald's, not gonna lie. I think it's good because it's so cheap and like the milkshakes are good. It's like a good neighborhood spot. It's like a quick, like authentic place. It's not like a gourmet cuisine, it's just like a fast spot to go in and out. It's definitely not like a Bear Burger or something like that where it's all fancy. This is just a place to quick go in, go out, get a milkshake. But Cosmo, did you have the fries? The All-American fries are the best fries I've ever had in my life. Another good Korean barbecue place right here, Barnju. Good place. now we're at Union Square, 14th Street, where you can get the L, N, Q, R, W, 4, 5, and 6 trains. Zap balances. When I was in college, I worked for a high-end credit card, and Alec Baldwin's mother called, a really nice lady. Oh, that's so nice. Yeah, so Alec Baldwin's mother is a big pioneer in the breast cancer, the fight for breast cancer. Because unfortunately she did have breast cancer. And my favorite movie is Glengarry Glen Ross. Great movie. Please check it out. Alright, so now we are at Union Square. I don't know if anybody in the chat was on last night's stream, but last night we went to Washington Square Park and it was wild. And you could also see the Empire from here too. Andrew says, oh, I did all that once, keeping track of everything, and then I had children, tax write-off. Yes, sir. Nightbot timed that LG. Sorry about that. Yeah, LG, so I had to program the Nightbot to be super, super strict because 2 nights ago we were raided by a very, like, an incel group that was spamming racist things. So I had to program the Nightbot. So sorry about that, guys. Denny's seasoned fries is fire, not gonna lie. Says reels. Chili cheese fries, amazing. McDonald's strawberry milkshake is one of the best ever. Tom, you're going to need security soon. Your channel keeps growing. People are starting to recognize you. Yikes. Oyster Bay, yes. Oh, my phone is gonna die, guys. So I appreciate everybody joining. We'll stream until the phone dies, but once again, I really do appreciate it. I love doing these streams. You guys are so fun to talk to. We have great conversations about finance. We covered a broad spectrum of topics tonight. We covered Afswat Damodaran, which is the professor for securities analysis and corporate finance at NYU. We talked about Jack Bogle, and we talked about a bunch of good restaurants in New York City too. So thank you everybody for being here. I tuned in and saw the end of that stream, and it was crazy. Lots of, yeah, I know, unfortunately. In America 3, I don't understand how people have time to do that stuff. It's like, it's crazy. Yeah, photos from around New York says All-American, whoa. All-American Hamburger Drive-In looks great. Yeah, I grew up right around the corner. Photos from around New York, right there, it's beautiful. So anytime you go out there, go to All-American and then go to Jones Beach and have a good time. Revis says, I have to go now. Thank you and have a good evening. Revis, as always, thank you for joining. I appreciate you joining. Thank you so much. Yeah, so LG, it's like an automated bot. So it's not like people timing you out, it's an automated bot. And the reason why I had to do that is because 2 nights ago we had a lot of people that came on the stream and started spamming racist stuff. So I had to have the Nightbot block all like exclamation points and things like that. So it's not like somebody, it's like an actual like robot I programmed to do that. So it's nothing you did, LG, it's just an automated thing. Tom, did they clean up the trash in the park? Josh, I don't know, I hope they did because it was disgusting and I didn't see it. Hey, Reels, have a good night, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, photos from around New York is going to get the Bogle book. Yeah, so it's a very, very good book. We'll go into it on another stream. Yeah, In America 3 says, those guys harass other NYC. Oh, okay. I know, yeah. Yeah, trolls were crazy that night. So LG, it's nothing. The bot has to stay there because, you know, we can't have any of that stuff. That's just ridiculous. Hey, but Daniel G, thank you so much for joining. It was great to have you here. Michelle McGraw, as always, thank you so much for being here. Lupe says, Tom, I'll be your security guard. Lupe, absolutely. Come from Oklahoma to New York and hang out with us. Sunshine After Rain says, thank you, Tom. Always a great stream. Thank you. Cosmo, always good to have you here too, man. These days, everything closes early. Need a 24-hour restaurant. I know, in America 3. I don't know if there's a Denny's in New York City. Cosmo, there used to be a Denny's right next to the Pace University in Lower Manhattan. I've actually been to that Denny's many times, but I think it closed down, and I think there's a new restaurant in there now. But it used to be right outside of the Brooklyn Bridge entrance near Pace University. Photos from around New York says Wall Street Skate Bro, most innovative. Says most innovative economics and finance lectures. Absolutely. Yeah, so anybody interested in learning about how to invest the proper way, check out Othswat de Modern. He is a professor at the Stern Business School at NYU. And he teaches you all about securities analysis and how to evaluate companies the proper way. He's a brilliant guy, a genius of our time. And instead of spending 70 grand to go to Stern Business School, you could watch it for free on his YouTube channel. He posts all of his lectures for free online. LG says, okay, Tom, thanks. I didn't even do anything. I know. It's weird, LG. It's just we have to keep the bot. It's weird. I don't know. See, even in America 3, this Nightbot said, beep bop, stop spamming symbols. Daniel G says, found an Argentinian restaurant near where you are located. Looks real good. 513 East 6th Street, Buenos Aires. Anyway, Google it. Let's check it out. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. Yeah, Uncle Scrooge, the Nightbot, is going crazy. NYC Cherry Goose says, hey, Tom, dinosaurs is bad, but try Mighty Quins. I saw Seth Rogen online. Really? I'm gonna have to check out Mighty Quins. Where is that? Is that in Manhattan? NYC Cherry Groove? I've never heard of that. Tom, you should do a book club while skating around New York City. That would be fun. That would be fun. Maybe we'll do that. Who knows? But I appreciate everybody stopping by. In America 3, again, apologize. Anybody who's getting timed out by the Nightbot, it's just unfortunately we have to put those measures in place, because or else we'll have a spectacle in the comments of all these trolls posting racist comments, which we can't have. But yeah, I think I have a lot of interesting ideas for the channel. These live streams are pretty much like podcasts anyway, so I don't know. I think we can do a lot of cool stuff here, so we'll see. Photos from around New York also backs up New York City Cherry Groove and says, Mighty Quins is in the West Village, recommend it. Okay. I'll definitely have to check it out. Mighty Quins in the West Village, good barbecue. Definitely gonna check that out. So I was reading this interesting article today about pet spending in the United States and globally. So we'll talk about that in the next stream. But it was incredibly interesting. So millennials and Gen Z actually would prefer to raise a dog or a cat than an actual child now. And the statistics show that spending on pets is growing so exponentially in the United States. But we'll talk about it in the next stream, but it's really interesting. And I think I agree, because I love my dog. But yeah, Michelle McGraw sounds accurate. Yeah, I think during the pandemic, everybody was just super, cooped up in their house. So a lot of my friends adopted pets, dogs, and spent a lot more money on like pet supplies and things like that, which I think is a positive, right? Because one of the articles was pointing out that people were not buying pets from the pet stores, they were actually adopting them. So that is really, really positive news. If you're gonna get a dog, definitely think about adopting a dog or any sort of pet. Gen X here, love Gen X. Gen X, yeah, we have a very diverse audience. So I was looking at the YouTube analytics the other night, and we have a really, really diverse audience. We have people from all different ages, all over the world. I was looking at it, it's crazy. Something like 70 different countries watch this stream, and people ranging from like 14 to 80 years old. So that's awesome. That's awesome. I get to meet and interact with people from all over the world on the stream, which is always good, as we cruise through New York City on a skateboard. Lupe says, I didn't adopt this stray kitten. Just walked into my house one day and I declared it her home too. That's awesome. She doesn't even have a name. Wow. Lupe, that's crazy. That's awesome. I have one child that is a millennial and 2 children that are Gen Z, Michelle McGraw says. Awesome. My daughter is 19. Cool. Yeah, so I think the cutoff for Gen Z is what, 25? I was reading if you were born in 1995 or above, it's Gen Z, I believe. And then 1994 and below is millennial. Regardless, yeah, any of that age group. But that's cool, Michelle and Sunshine. I didn't know you guys had kids. That's cool. This is another good shot of the Empire. Michael DeCosta says, what is your favorite part of New York or favorite part of the stream? My favorite part of this in particular stream was definitely the sunset at the beginning, because the sky was unbelievable colors. It was really, really beautiful. But my favorite part of New York is probably Central Park, where I stream all the time, from that little rock climbing place where we could see the entire city skyline. That's really, really nice. And I think it also changes every month. Like sometimes I like the Upper West Side of Manhattan. Sometimes I like Lower Manhattan. But there's one place that I really don't like, that I don't care for, and that's the Upper East Side. It's not that I don't like it, I just don't care for it. In America 3 says, I have 2 Gen Z kids. Cool. Uncle Scrooge, Wall Street Skate Bro. Can you know from which countries people are watching? Will YouTube name those countries? Yes, Uncle Scrooge, I can see everything. So we have people from India, Ireland, I saw Iraq, Afghanistan, I saw a lot of places from all over the world. Really crazy. Andrew Calhoun says, I have 2 Gen Z kids also. Wow, that's really crazy. So a lot of people have kids on the stream. That's so cool. I know Zap Allen, I love looking at that building too. My son, my baby is 19, getting older, Michelle. I'm assuming graduating high school. Is that high school age? I don't even remember what age I graduated high school. Yeah, I think I graduated high school at 18, right? I hope I'm getting that right. Yeah, I definitely graduated at 18. Lupe says, I'm never having kids. Hey, Lupe, I respect that. I mean, it's anybody's choice, you know? Sometimes it's cool just to chill out, do your own thing, focus on you, my friend. That guy always scares me every time I skateboard past this block. I see him just in the nick of time. He always sleeps right here and he always scares me every time. Zap balances, I graduated at 17, wow. I think I graduated right on my birthday. So I was 17 turning 18 and I graduated literally on my birthday that day. Or maybe like a few days after, I forget. Oh, we graduated already, nice, cool. Hey, Ryan Rides, what's up, Ryan Rides? I believe Ryan Rides is from Canada, I believe. So check him out. He says, hey, I'm glad I caught your streams. I really enjoyed it. I stream while in Toronto on my scooter, yeah. Yep, so everybody check out Ryan Rides. Andrew, here's a double take at the limo, my friend. Here we go, get ready. All right, so we're outside the Smith. Tom, I'm staying in the Bronx come November. Awesome, Lupe. I know, Andrew, it's Limo City tonight just for you. I told him, like, Andrew's coming. Line up the limos. There's always limos here, I don't know why. And there's always people here doing drugs. Yeah, in America 3, I can't imagine what it's like either. Sleeping on the open streets. I don't know how they do it. Yeah, he was smoking ice. A lot of people do that. Well, thanks everybody again for joining. If you like this content, feel free to give it a like and subscribe as we have the Empire State Building play us out. So let's get an exclamation point swan in the chat for this beautiful view of the Empire State Building. Because the Empire State Building equals signpost equals know where you are all the time. And we are on Broadway. Roy J says that was the longest lasting 3% battery ever. I know. When it snows, I feel bad for them, says Sunshine After Rain. I agree too. LG says, I feel the same way about the Upper East Side. There's no vibe. That's why. Yeah, there's no vibe. The vibe is very angry and disgruntled, wealthy people. Very angry, disgruntled, no character. That's why I like the Upper West Side. There's a lot of people with kids, young people, or the older people tend to be more crafty and more artsy. That's the kind of vibe I like. I like the arts, I like creativity, I like people that are kind and cool. The Upper East Side, they think like, oh, I'm a big shot just because I got money. I don't know, I don't like the vibe. I agree with you, LG. There's just no character on the Upper East Side. There's not like any big, beautiful brownstones. The only place I like on the Upper East Side is near the Met Museum. So the Metropolitan Museum of Art and also the Henry Clay Frick Museum. So maybe I shouldn't hate on the Upper East Side too much because there are some things I do like. stream until it dies. And so we'll end it there, guys. Well, 100 degrees Fahrenheit in Seattle? No way. That's crazy. Weather in Lebanon. Damn, bro, you've been out there forever, I know. We've been doing it for about 2 hours. Yeah, you gotta have big bucks to live on the Upper East Side. I agree. So thank you everybody for joining. Please subscribe to the channel if you like this kind of content. Hey, Out and About is here. What's up, Out and About? So everybody, type !out in the chat and Nightbot should drop Out and About's link. So let's get an !out. Let's give it a try. Catherine, I'm amazed how quickly you zip around Manhattan on your skateboard. Well, Catherine, thank you so much for joining. I do appreciate you being here. It's always nice to see you, and I know that you're relatively new to the stream, so hopefully you're doing well. Hey, there we go. It says, please, hello, please check out our pal Out and About. There we go. There we go. All right. There's gonna be like thousands of Out and About. Good night, Tom. Have a nice Tuesday. You too, Daniel. Thank you so much for joining, my friend. Daniel, always good to see you from Argentina. Tell your family I say hello. Please be safe over there. And I hope to see you on a stream soon. So what other ones did we do? Kenneth says, Skate Bro, you've been out there a long time, huh? Yeah, we've been out there 2 hours and 30 minutes just skating around, which I think is good because I had a long day today. Did a lot of work, so it's good to get some exercise. So everybody, if you type !SSO, I think it will drop Fernando's link. So let's see. So we have Command NYU, that'll drop Demoderan's link for evaluation at NYU Stern Business School. Skateboarding up to Times Square. Yeah, photos from around New York says this is how you de-stress after a long day. Yes. Hey Tom, you are a good guy, and I know where you are coming from with snobbery, but you are generalizing neighborhoods too much. I agree. I agree with that, NYC Cherry Groove. So I would say probably from about, yeah, I mean, you're right, NYC Cherry Groove, you're 100% right with that. But there's just some people on the Upper East Side, especially in the 60s, that every time I've had an interaction with these people, they just, I don't know, they think they're superior. I don't know. But again, that's probably anywhere, so that's probably a huge generalization. The Upper East Side is beautiful. Two of my favorite museums are on the Upper East Side. The Metropolitan Museum and the Henry Clay Frick Museum. So NYC Cherry Groove, I do agree. I do agree. It's probably a little bit of a generalization. You're right. Hey, Solo 401. Uncle Scrooge. I know, Roy J, iPhone is always misleading with the 1% battery. This is a good place too, Artichokes Pizza. I just had some bad experiences with the Upper East Side, that's all. And I feel like the Upper West Side is more open. Like it's a lot more lackadaisical and a little bit laid back. Upper West Side is more of like a Brooklyn vibe, kind of. A little bit more hipstery. So we're about to pass Bank of China. Look at this guy on his dirt bike. Here we can see One Vanderbilt, which is the new building, is beautiful. And here we have Salesforce Tower, which the CEO is Mark Benioff, and it is a big software company, customer relationship management company. And here we are, Bryant Park. Oh no, NYC Cherry Groove, I agree with you, man. I totally agree with you, pal. Not uncomfortable at all, I agree. Sometimes it's like when you think about like the bad experience you've had with like people being snobby, you're like, oh, you know, that whole area stinks. You know, you tend to get too overzealous about it. So I know what you're talking about. I totally agree. Yeah, the Seagram building is one of my favorite buildings in the city. That is on the upper, well, yeah, I guess that's on the Upper East Side. You think we could swing by the Shake Shack on 42nd and 8th? Kenneth, my phone may die. Yeah, the Seagram building is good. It's so hot here, guys. It's crazy. So LG, if you type exclamation point NYU, it'll put Demodoran's thing there. So exclamation point NYU. I have family members who won't go into the city because they think it's too dangerous and liberal. What? That's crazy. Yeah, so if you do exclamation point NYU, that'll put in the link the professor at the Stern Business School, Outswat Damodaran. And he is extremely, extremely smart. And if you put in, oh, this is one that you have to put in because everybody should watch this video. This is mandatory to watch. You have to do exclamation point Druck, D-R-U-C-K, and it'll put a link to Stanley Druckenmiller, which is arguably one of the best investors of all time. And he gives an amazing interview at a business school. It's free to watch online. It's so educational, you're gonna learn so much. So exclamation point Druck, D-R-U-C-K. It'll drop the link to Stanley Druckenmiller. So exclamation point. All right, and this is my old office. Yeah, so Nightbot dropped it, 2021 investment conference. Please check it out, Stanley Druckenmiller. You guys are gonna have a lot of fun with that. So this is my office. This was my old office. I used to sit right here for many years. It's hot as hell, my God. NYC Cherry Groove says, Tom, there are 2 big streamers in New York preaching that crap, and because they are professional tour guides, based on historical content, they know nothing about living in Manhattan. Wow. So what do they say, like New York is not good? I think it's great. During the pandemic, I moved into Manhattan. I didn't move away. Zap Allen says, is that the office you used to sit next to and wave to the guy? Yes. So I worked right here in the Marshall McLennan building, and we had one of the largest quantitative-based hedge funds in our building, D.E. Shaw. I would sit right here. All the quant guys would be right above me. And I used to wave to this guy every